What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and baby, let's get into the drama of it all because we got a few things to talk about. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So let's talk about Erika Jayne first. So the last time we talked about Erika Jayne, we talked about her 3 lawsuits. Okay, so she's being sued by one of Tom Girardi's bankruptcy trustees for $24 million. This person is alleging that Erika purposely took money back in 2017 to 2020, and if she knew it was like ill-gotten money. They're suing her currently for that. She's also being sued by the design team Marco. And I want to read a tweet that pretty much summarizes why she's being sued by these two men. So let's get into that. So this was tweeted out by Randall Richards. And if you don't know, and I've told y'all this before because we've read Randall's tweets before, he stay on Erika's neck, okay? But it says this: Erika Girardi is facing a default in the Marco Marant's Florida case. He is the other founder of Marco. Chris Piceles is suing her in California. This arises out of the failed Secret Service case against Piceles. Her widely reported benefactor, attorney Jim Wilkes, is representing her and her employees slash agents personally. He didn't file her motion to dismiss correctly and failed to show up for the case management conference. The court struck down the motion and is allowing a default to be taken at Erika Jayne is in hot water now and is on the verge of losing this case. Evan Boogers, her LA attorney, was not paid for this one IMO to save some money as Jim is licensed in Florida. Can't wait to see plaintiff does here. So pretty much Marco Marant is suing her for $300,000 in Florida for defamation, and Chris lives in California, stated in the tweet, and he's suing her for $900,000 for defamation. But he's also suing, I think, American Express and the Secret Service based off of them putting him in jail under false pretenses based on Erika's words. So it looks like we have an update when it comes to her case with Marco Marant. So it says this: Marco Marant moves for default in case against Erika Jayne in Florida Marco case after Jayne's lawyer mishap. So they also posted a screenshot of the court documents, and I'm just going to read what is underlined. It says plaintiff Marco Marant files the motion for default against defendant Erika Girardi, aka Erika Jayne, Layla Ribatalida, and Michael Minden. This lawsuit was filed on August the 9th, 2024, and yet there is still no operative defense pleading or motion filed on the docket. 2 months ago, the court found the defendants had abandoned their original motion to dismiss and entered an order striking the original motion, noting the court would then entertain a motion for default. And so I guess there's another tweet by Randall Richards where he kind of gives us the layman's term, but it says Marco Marant moves for default against Erika Girardi, aka Erika Jayne, Layla Ribatali, and Michael Minden. The previous unauthorized motion to dismiss filed by Jim Wilkes, associated counselor, is not being recognized by the plaintiff and probably the court. Erika is facing complete disaster in this case. This aggressive default motion could be the end for Erika in this case. So that is the update when it comes to Erika's case against Marco. And it's looking like he about to win, okay? And my thing about it is he's suing 3 people, so all of them gonna have to cop up some money. But really, do they have any money if they're employed by Erika or managing her career? They gonna start garnishing them Bravo checks. And I mean, I'm not mad at it. If you watch The Housewife and the Hustler and you see how badly Erika screwed Chris over, and Marco, you basically understand that they should get everything and then some for her. Honestly, if I was either one of them, I would be suing her for at least $1 million, if not more, even though we know she don't got it. But I mean, I wonder how much Erika does make from Bravo, because she owed them men some money. Okay. She owed them some money and then some. But that's an update with Erika. So moving on, y'all. Let's talk about BravoCon. I just have to rant about that like real quick. The tickets for BravoCon are ridiculous. Now, I love the Bravo ladies, the girls. I love the Real Housewives and the other shows like Married to Medicine. If Summer House Martha's Vineyard was there, I would love to like meet those people as well and things of that nature. But I don't love Bravo that much to be spending basically $2,000 for 3 days, because the ticket prices and also a room and board and like food and everything is going to equate to that. Someone actually took a screenshot and was talking about it on Twitter, the prices of the tickets. Crazy work. So like we're just gonna go through the ticket packages. So to be a Bravo holic, that is $672.61 plus tax, and that is the general admissions ticket to BravoCon. And what you get access to, it says access to all three of the Bravo Field Fund Caesar forums. It says Bravo celebrity photo ops by reservation. You can also do Bravo theme experiences and photo ops, Bravo browser shopping experience. It says shop by Bravo on site with exclusive merch, options to purchase Bravo Palooza add-on experience pending availability, options to purchase tickets to BravoCon Live with Andy Cohen, shows at the PH Live at Planet Hollywood Las Vegas Resort and Casino pending availability. And then at the bottom it says note, must be 18 or older to attend BravoCon, 21 or older to attend Bravo Palooza and other BravoCon Live with Andy Cohen. Girl. So then the other one, this is Future Bravo Celebrity. This ticket is $1,463.52 plus tax. And it says 3-day VIP ticket to BravoCon. You got a VIP fast lane access to Caesar Forum entrance, preferred seating at all BravoCon panels featuring Bravo celebrities at the Caesar Forum, exclusive lounge space at Caesar Forum, early access to Bravo celebrity photo ops and reservations, VIP fast lane access to Bravo themed experiences and photo ops, VIP fast lane access to select sip and snack location and BravoCon barista, no, bistro, I mean. It also goes on to say priority entry to special add-on experience, including Bravo Palooza, with separately purchased tickets pending availability, early access to purchase tickets to BravoCon Live with Andy Cohen show at PH Live in Planet Hollywood Las Vegas Resort and Casino pending availability. So you're telling me you pay basically $1,500 and the Bravo Andy Live experience is not added in on that? Now, it would be so amazing if one day I get sponsored to go to BravoCon, because, I do love Bravo content and what they put out, but I just could not see myself paying that much money. And the last time BravoCon happened was in 2023. And I saw so many people getting online complaining about how they did not have a fun experience, how things were unorganized. But I did hear that Bravo Fan Fest was way better. So people that have been to BravoCon 2023 went to Bravo Fan Fest and said that whoever curated that experience did a better job. And I think it was because it was a lot smaller. But girl, I said that's a lot going on. I mean, if you got it, you got it. I'm not checking anybody's pockets. I'm not knocking anybody for going, but I just couldn't see myself paying that much money to go to BravoCon. I couldn't, y'all. I couldn't. So moving on, y'all, let's talk about Sonja. Because when I tell you this month, the month of May, has really been doing a number on Miss Sonja Morgan. So on May the 12th, it was reported that Sonja was blacklisted from a well-known New York Italian restaurant called Tucci's. And this was reported by Page 6. It says Sonja Morgan blacklisted from Tucci's after walking out on a meal she assumed was comped. Okay. So let's get into this article from Page 6, okay? And y'all know any article that I read or reference, I normally put the link to it in the description box below so you can read for yourself if you would like. So it starts out like this. It says, hysterical Sonja Morgan blacklisted from NYC Italian hotspot after refusing to pay a $1,000 bill she thought was comped. It says the ex-Real Housewives of New York City star Sonja Morgan caused quite the scene at NoHo's hotspot Tucci's on Saturday after the restaurant refused to cop her bill. We hear she called the owner, Max Tucci, after being handed a $1,000 check demanding a comp because, among other things, she's a single mother. She was absolutely hysterical and refused to pay. It was like she was filming a housewife episode shouting, "I'm a celebrity," a source claimed to Page 6. By Monday morning, Morgan had paid the bill, including a tip, but we're told she no longer welcome at the hotspot. It goes on to say, we're told that she has indeed been given free meals by the restaurant in the past, and she mistakenly assumed that would be the case on this occasion. Girl. So continuing on, you guys know that Jeff Lewis has a podcast on, I think it's Radio XM, and he had Vicki Gunvalson and Shannon Bedore from the OC on his show, and they actually talked about that situation and they gave their 2 cents. So I want to read what No Smoke No More posted, and then I'll play the clip for you guys, all right? So it starts off like this. Shannon Bedore and Vicki Gunvalson were on Jeff Lewis Live talking about how Sonja Morgan got banned from Tucci's restaurant after not paying her bill. Vicki said Sonja shouldn't go out to dinner if she can't afford it. While they were discussing it, Max Tucci, the owner of Tucci's restaurant, called in to tell the story of Sonja skipping out on a $1,000 tab. Sonja came in, created a scene, Max recalled, calling me at 11:30 p.m. and saying, "I'm a celebrity, I don't pay. Why did you give me a bill? Hashtag RHOC, hashtag RHONY." So let me play the clip for you guys.
Expect anybody to count my dinner. If they want to, that's their option. I would never expect it.
Does that happen a lot with you housewives? Because somebody will sometimes I'll get a dessert or some drinks or whatever, but
shouldn't go out for dinner if she can't afford it. So I don't expect anybody to count my dinner. If they want to, that's their option. I would never expect it.
Does that happen a lot with you housewives? Because somebody will sometimes I'll get a dessert or some drinks or whatever, but very rarely does someone pick up an entire tab. I mean, I would feel weird about it.
Has Sonja responded? Did she make a comment?
She paid the bill on Monday, she 2 days later, but she's been banned from the restaurant.
With a generous tip, was pointed out. I don't know if she said it or he said it.
You don't do that.
She paid the bill with a generous tip.
Well, that was what she needed to do, and then you never go back to that restaurant.
Max in New York. Hey, Max.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Hi.
This is Max Tucci calling.
Stop it.
Wow.
A Tucci restaurant?
I love that.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Max, so talk to us, Max.
I want to come into your restaurant. I'm going to pay, but I want to come in. I'll be in New York in the first week of June.
So, and I will be there as well.
Come
Same
on,
time.
Shannon. Come with me.
Well, what about me? I feel left out.
I'm debating a new cocktail, the Sonja Non Grata.
Oh, I love it. I'm going to order that, 2 of them.
So can you tell us what happened, Max?
Yeah. So look, Sonja and I were neighbors in New York before, the house got foreclosed. And so when she first came to the restaurant in June, last year, I was very much neighborly. Come in, it's on me, literally on me. I pay my servers when there's, an event like that. So she came. After that, she thought she was always going to come for free. She's only been there once since this incident. Okay. So she has not comped meals, apostrophe S, whatever. There's never been meals. One meal was comped. She called me Saturday on my personal cell phone. She said, "Hi, I would love to go to Tucci. I have to go to Jack's birthday at Boom Boom Room, so I want to come by. My cousin Jack." First of all, it's not her cousin, it's her daughter's cousin, Jack Morgan. And so I said, "Great, how many people?" She starts, 2 people. "Okay, then maybe 3. I'm bringing J-Lo's hairdresser." I said, "Whatever, just how many people?" 3. "Okay, not a problem." We get to the table. I specifically sent her a text message saying, "I am out of town. It's Mother's Day. I'm with my mother in Florida, but I will send you something from me." Okay?
Oh.
So It was the evening was fine. Reports from inside, she already started the scene when she got there. Why? Because she told me 3 people. She shows up with 5. Now, Tucci, is, as the press is saying, a hotspot.
Yes, it is.
My family's going to be 100 years in hospitality.
I only have 1 minute, Max, unfortunately.
I'm going to wrap it up.
Okay.
So I'm going to wrap it up real quick. So she comes in, creates the scene, calls me at 11:30 and says, I'm a celebrity. I don't pay. Why did you give me a bill?
Oh, God. Disrespectful.
Wow.
Okay, we're coming in and we're going
I
to
didn't know about Tucci's until this.
I know.
Until this report, but I am so excited
see
to
you
try
in a
your
couple
restaurant.
weeks.
Thank you for your call, Max.
This is so embarrassing. Oh my gosh, Sonja. Oh, like, it's one thing for the Page 6 article to come out and try to paint this kind of nice narrative about the situation. Like, granted, you were being an asshole yelling, I'm a celebrity and you not gonna pay this bill. But to be like, well, by Monday she paid the bill and left a generous tip. And they kind of try to paint it like it was a mistake because they're saying that, oh, she goes to Tucci's all the time and they comp her meals. But then to have the actual restaurant owner call into Jeff Lewis's show and be like, I've only comped 1 meal for her. And she called me at 11:30 at night to be like, girl, I'm a celebrity. I don't pay bills. Why'd you send me a bill? Is embarrassing. And it just shows how entitled you are and also how you're not living in reality. It's definitely giving Grey Gardens over there. Somebody check on Sonja. Because like I said, the month of May hasn't been really great to her because the next thing that hit the timeline about Sonja, it happened 3 days later, but on May the 15th, there was video clips surfacing, and I'll play them for you, of Sonja being put into an ambulance, being escorted from a restaurant. So this was posted by No Smoke No More, and this is what they stated. It says Sonja Morgan was transported from Echo Palm Beach restaurant in Florida to a hospital on the evening of May the 15th, 2025. TMZ obtained exclusive footage showing Morgan visibly upset and speaking loudly to responding officers outside the establishment. Sources indicate that she talked with Palm Beach police officers and restaurant staff for approximately 15 minutes before being placed on a stretcher and loaded into an ambulance. Interestingly, Morgan reportedly called the ambulance for a friend who had fallen, but she ended up receiving medical attention herself. The Palm Beach Police Department confirmed that officers responded to the medical call around 9:45 p.m. and remained on site for less than an hour, during which a patient was treated. So that was the initial thing that came out about the situation with Sonja. Well, there was an update to the TMZ article, and the link to this article is in the description box below. But it says this: Sonja Morgan, I left the restaurant in ambulance. Here's what I say. It says Sonja Morgan is explaining why she left a restaurant in Florida in an ambulance. The RHONY star tells People in a statement, an elderly patron at the restaurant I was dining at appeared to be in distress, and I called for medical assistance. While assisting during the commotion, I sustained some minor injuries and out of the abundance of caution accompanied the EMTs to be checked out. Sonja's statement continued, I'm incredibly grateful to the first responders for their swift care and professionalism. She is also responding to our reports that she was given a trespassing warning from the police, telling the outlet I didn't want to leave. I insisted on making sure she was cared for. Sonja Morgan was given a trespassing warning last night, according to documents TMZ obtained from the Palm Beach Police Department. She refused to sign the warning, the docs show. Sonja Morgan took an unexpected ride to the hospital last night, and we have footage of her about to be whisked away. Check it out. Our video show the Real Housewives of New York alum seemingly upset while loudly speaking to responding officers at Echo in Palm Beach, Florida, Thursday evening. So let me play those clips for you guys.
You don't know, I just pulled up. I just want to tell you, New York, I just pulled up on a restaurant that comes and then they outed me. It's another setup. This is another setup. You don't understand. I just had a restaurant in New York do that to me. They invited me and then they outed me, saying I didn't pay. It's not That's true. I paid and I tipped.
Please number of the account so I can get it.
Okay.
That is yours. You need to be given the account, okay?
But I want you to know, you don't know, and you know this just happened to me. That a restaurant invited me. In the text, I showed it to all the authorities that it was invited, and then I came here and they outed me again.
Any private establishment has the right to refuse any reason
Which is
outside
fine.
any protected
Which
class.
is fine.
So let's go. You have to leave, okay? You want to go to the hospital?
So the same thing happens to her that happened with the restaurant, where the article comes out and it kind of makes it seem like the situation wasn't as deep as everyone is speculating. And then we get visual evidence of the situation, or somebody from like who was there confirms what happened, and it makes it worse, because you're talking about, oh, I was caring for an elderly patron, and you call 911 only for you to end up in the ambulance and video footage to come out of you saying, it's a setup. They did it to me in New York and now they're doing it here in Florida. And somebody in the comments said, this is how Sonja gets out of paying for meals. She calls the police. And I said, girl, I wouldn't put it past her. I would not put it past her. Sonja used to be one of my girls when it came to Real Housewives of New York. The 4 girls I used to go up for when I used to watch Real Housewives of New York, the early seasons, was Bethany, Sonja, Dorinda, and Luann. I can't stand Bethany. I cannot. Sonja, I worry about. Luann is a vibe, and Dorinda, as long as Dorinda's not drinking, she's not mean. Okay. And I love her. I made it nice. I made it nice. Or she was like, you want to know how I'm doing? Not well, bitch. Dorinda. But like, Sonja is someone that I like, a housewife that I've always been like, she not gonna make it without this show. And it's seemingly like the more time has gone on, it kind of proves it. Because the thing about it is, Sonja never let go of being a Morgan. And that was always a point of contention with her and the ladies. But then I think as she stayed on Real Housewives of New York, slowly she started to let it go. But I think she held on too tightly to being a Bravo celebrity. And when the show got rebooted, I was like, yes, Sonja's going to be the one that might end up in a bad place, because she holds on to identity so tightly. She's screaming in this restaurant, I'm a celebrity. No one cares, Sonja. Then you have her down in Florida talking about they set me up, and she sounds inebriated, okay? Both instances, it seems like she is drunk. And this reminds me of when Jeff Lewis was talking about how disgusted he was about Sonja's behavior on the Watch What Happens Live anniversary show, where it was him, Teresa, Jerry O'Connell, Phaedra, Portia, and then Luann and Sonja. And he was like, she was way worse than what y'all saw. And everyone could tell that Sonja was drunk. And it's because I think in Sonja's mind, she still thinks she's really that girl and she's a part of like the Bravo world. But it's like, no, ma'am, the time has gone. That's why I said it's giving Grey Gardens. It's giving Grey Gardens, and I'm worried. I'm like I said, someone needs to check up on Sonja, because this is embarrassing, and this happened within 3 days. Since I spoke about the Jeff Lewis situation where Vicki spoke on Sonja, so did Shannon. They had a caller call in and they asked Vicki, was she going to be on the recent season of Real Housewives of Orange County? And Vicki actually said no, which was surprising to everybody that was in the room. And the reasoning that she gave also surprised the audience and the people in the room with her. So let me play the clip for you guys.
For Vicki, are we going to see little bits of you on this upcoming season of OC? Because I miss you.
I miss you too. And the answer is no. They never called me.
You didn't film a
all?
scene at all?
Nothing, which is very rare.
Yeah.
I usually come in and do something. If not full time, I'm doing something. So,
that's
sad
a
for me.
disappointment.
I know.
I'm sad. I always like that.
So there's still a little butt hurt over that interview you did, I guess. I'm guessing. I don't know for sure.
It was taken out of
Butt
content.
hurt? What?
It was taken out of content.
So no, I know it was
she appeared
context.
on the Dark Side of Reality documentary on Hulu.
Because they probe you to say things.
Right.
And I said it was very difficult that they filmed me getting the news that my mom died
at my house. Yeah,
it was horrible.
So they did. There was a docu, right? There was a
it was a Dark Side Reality. I should have never done it,
Right.
and I knew they were setting me up. And I told Andy about it. He goes, "Well, you said that you'll never forgive us." I said, "Well, it was pretty shitty. It was pretty shitty." Well, end of the day, if you're hearing that one of your parents died, and they're rolling cameras in your face, and then you have to see it going back in time.
So they're upset.
Well,
obviously.
you know what? I could be upset about a million things. That was pretty bad.
But we talked about this totally before. Healthy. It's production. It's not the executives.
I know that. And it was and they gave me an authorization. Can we air this? And I said, no, because my family doesn't want to see that. My kids don't want to see it. My family doesn't want to see it. And then I said, let me see the footage. And I said, we got to cut it way down. And they did. And then, of course, they tell me, well, unfortunately, people have news like this, that people die. And your reaction was exactly how most people would. And I think it'll help people.
I'll never forget that.
A lot of people, a lot of housewives have done a lot worse.
I mean, please.
And are back on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I just think maybe they're letting you sit out one season and hopefully you'll come back.
Whatever. I'm working on my own shit right now.
Okay, y'all. So I would like to really know your opinions on this. Do you think production is being too hard on Vicki? Or do you think Vicki should have been prepared for this? Because I'm kind of in the middle. Because on one hand, I understand why production would be mad at her. And the name of the show, if you're interested in watching it, it was a Vice documentary called The Dark Side of reality TV. It said it looks behind the scenes at the most prolific and iconic reality shows of our day, from Survivor to the Housewives franchises to Hell's Kitchen and beyond. And what's interesting is the episode that Vicki was featured on, Cynthia from Real Housewives of Atlanta was on, as well as Aviva from Real Housewives of New York. So Vicki spoke about when she got the phone call from her daughter about her mother passing away. Cynthia spoke about her getting into a fight with Portia, as well as having to drop the tea about Phaedra's cheating allegations about Mr. Chocolate. And then Aviva talked about when she threw her prosthetic leg. I don't know why Cynthia was there, but I get why Aviva and Vicki was there. But what's interesting to me is, like, when I tell you I have such a vivid picture in my mind of like when Vicki got the phone call about her mom dying, like I can still hear her screaming when people bring that up, because at first I thought she was putting on for the cameras, but I will never forget that one, I think it was a few episodes afterwards, where she was talking to the ladies. I think they were like bowling or they were somewhere, and she brought up her mom, like, oh, I'm just going to call my mom about it. And then she realized that, like, no, her mom was dead, and she just started crying. And I was like, oh my gosh. So that scene that she had was real. And in the episode of The Dark Side of Reality TV, she reveals that production knew for about an hour that her mom had died, that her daughter was trying to get in contact with her for an hour, but Vicki kept being like, oh, I'm filming. Is it something serious? And her daughter was like, no, you need to call me. And I think the daughter had called production, and instead of them just taking Vicki to the side and being like, hey, your mom just passed away, they got it on film. So I feel like they're pretty much even, but I think Vicki should have chose different words. Saying that I will never forgive them does make it easier for them not to do business with you, because they can always lean on the fact that you are the one with the problem, not them. I also thought it was kind of weird when Shannon was like, oh, I missed you too. And I'm like, you couldn't call her and ask her to film with you? Like, you and her seem to be cool. So why didn't you contact her? I know her and Tamara aren't in a good place, but you're the only other person, and she's not that close with Heather. So I'm just like, Shannon, why didn't you call her? But I just wonder, like, I'm wondering, you guys, like, do you understand why production wouldn't want to work with her? Or do you feel like they're doing too much because Cynthia was on there and she's on the latest season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, but Cynthia didn't talk badly about production? So I guess that might be the difference. So, the last thing we're going to be talking about is Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? So, the last time we talked about them, we talked about Karen and how she's been doing in jail. Oh, I cannot believe that lady is still in jail, okay? As well as we found out that the ladies were filming, and then, Mia moved down to Atlanta and she's trying to get a peach, which I hope never happens. But we've got some updates about the cast, not official updates, but allegedly who's supposed to be on the cast, as well as Mia, calling out the haters. Okay. So let's talk about Mia first. So I think this was posted on either Monday or Sunday, but I think it was Monday. Mia hopped on Instagram to say a couple of things. So I'm getting this from Reality Entertainment TV, and this is the caption they posted. It says, hashtag Mia Thornton has a message for the people in Potomac talking about her and threatens to take legal action. So Mia said this to Potomac: let this be a gentle reminder, freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences. Making false damning statements about someone is called defamation. It's not protected by law. So before you speak on my name publicly, make sure it's the truth, or make sure you're ready to prove it in court. I no longer allow anyone to play with my reputation. From Atlanta. P.S. Take me out of the group chat. I don't want to play in your sandbox anymore. Hashtag Mia Moore. Hashtag Era. Hashtag DFWM. So I feel like everybody knows someone like Mia. And what I mean by that, everybody knows a person that's always on the internet, whether it be on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, and I don't know any other social media sites, but they're always posting about people like hating on them and, that like people preying on their downfall. And I'm not negating that Mia has dealt with people that don't like her and fans coming at her based off of the way that she behaves on Real Housewives of Potomac, but this just feels like it came out of nowhere. And I'm like, is this directed to the ladies who have started filming? And if so, I honestly don't think they are really talking about you. I feel like at most, they'll probably mention Mia maybe one time. Season 10 starts, like maybe one episode, maybe the first episode, because she's not gonna be around, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I genuinely don't believe that like they are just dog walking and like talking about her to this extent where she needs to come out and scream defamation. Maybe there's other people in Potomac speaking about her, but then in my mind I'm like, is it really defamation, or is it you don't like what people are saying about your behavior that they have witnessed or experienced from you, So I was just like, I don't know, girl. But it also kind of shows that I feel like Mia is realizing that the hype about her has died down. Like, when she threw out those, feelers to see if people were going to be into her being on Real Housewives of Atlanta, some people are like, oh my God, she would be great on that show. But then ultimately everybody came to the conclusion that we didn't want to see her anymore. And I don't think Mia, or maybe Mia does realize that she was on Real Housewives of Potomac for 4 seasons and nothing really came out of it for her. So I wonder if she put that post out hoping that it would garner some type of buzz so her name would be in the blogs and stuff like that. And for a hot minute, like maybe for a good hour or 2 hours or so, it was on there, but nobody was really talking about her after that. So I don't know, Mia. Hopefully you find something that works for you, because you do got to support your family. So moving on, let's talk about Wendy. So I finally got an answer to a question that I have always posed when it comes to Wendy and her Dr. Wendy show that's on her YouTube channel. For the past couple of seasons, our last 2 seasons, I have always asked you guys, like when I do my reviews, I'm like, is the Dr. Wendy show just for TV, or is she really trying to create like a YouTube channel? You know what I mean? And it turns out that the YouTube channel is only for TV, which is fine. It seems like Wendy only puts content out when she's filming for Real Housewives of Potomac, because here recently she posted a picture with Mara Brock-Akil, the creator of Girlfriends, as well as the new show that is on Netflix that a lot of people have been enjoying called Forever. And both ladies look really pretty in their outfits. It looks like they were doing, or Mara Brock-Akil is doing a press junket because of how much success the Forever show is garnering. So this is the caption Wendy posted. It says, "OMG, my first press junket, and it is with the incomparable Mara Brock-Akil at Mara Brock-Akil, the creative force behind the shows that were the backdrop to my childhood and adult life. Thank you at Netflix and at Strong Black Lead for this amazing opportunity. I am still pinching myself. Watch the full interview on my YouTube page and make sure to watch #Forever Netflix. It is such a great show and I'm excited for season 2. #Dr. Wendy Show." So congrats to Wendy. You know, it'll probably be something we see her do on the show the same way we saw her interviewing the press secretary for Joe Biden during the Joe Biden administration. I am blanking on the lady's name right now, but you know, again, congrats to her. So moving on, let's talk about the cast. So allegedly, we're getting 2 new ladies, one lady by the name of Tia, the other one by the name of Angel. And word on the street is there is no Candace coming back to Real Housewives of Potomac. And I think that's okay. As much as I like Candace and I would love to see her come back on the show, especially so we could see her being a mother, I think right now she's doing very well in her career. She's about to be on this play that's similar to the vein of like Sinners, with the whole like blues backdrop and stuff, which I think is great. She's working on another part of her album and she's also still acting. So sometimes coming back to Real Housewives can hinder you and kind of stunt your growth. So I wouldn't want her to come back if it's going to do her harm. All right. So if she comes back, maybe season like 12 or 13. But I want to read what was posted by Mary Crosby's fan page, because this is where they are alleging that a lady by the name of Tia and Angel are going to be a part of this show. So it says, "Potomac Tea hit my DMs. Allegedly, Tia Glover and Angel Massey are the 2 new housewives to join Potomac for season 10. Tia on the left is a realtor, mother, and is linked to Nigerian royalty. Angel on the right is a housewife to a retired NFL player and the mother of 2. Reportedly, Tia and Stacey have gotten into it, and Stacey is having a gang up season. #RHOP. Okay, so I said, okay, this is interesting. Okay. So I do think they're telling the truth about Tia, because that clip that came out when we found out that the girls had started filming for season 10 of Real Housewives of Potomac, there was a scene in that clip that was being filmed of Stacey, her friend AJ, we saw him last season, Ashley and Giselle, and it was just some random lady standing there. And now that we have a name, I think that lady was Tia. Also, All True Tea, shouts out to them, posted pictures of the women being at some event that looks reminiscent of the Kentucky Derby, but it's not the Kentucky Derby. And Tia is in that photo, and I think I see Angel as well. So this is what they posted. It says, "The RHOP ladies are at the Pimlico race course for Black-Eyed Susan Day." And it's a lineup, okay? So in this lineup, I think the girl that's in the black is Angel, or maybe the girl in the green is Angel, but I'm leaning more to the girl in the black being Angel. But both of these women look fairly young, so that's why I feel like maybe one of them is Angel. You see Kiarna, then Giselle, then Stacey, then Tia in the middle, then Jazzy, then Wendy, and then the rest. There's like 3 other ladies that I don't know who they are. And then at the end is Ashley. All True Tea posted a slideshow where we do have a few singles. We have one of Wendy. She looks beautiful in this outfit. She looked good. Then Kiarna, I like this outfit on her, as well as Stacey. And then the final picture is of the ladies. It looks like they're actually watching a race, and you see the cameraman in the back, but you see Jazzy in the front, then Wendy, then Stacy, then Ashley, Giselle, and then Tia at the end. So it looks like they're right about Tia being a part of the show. And what I find really interesting about this tea is that Jazzy might actually be a part of the cast. And, you know, we all thought she got the boot based off of, like, you know, the things that were coming out and the rumors and the cryptic message that she posted. So it looks like maybe she's a friend of, I don't know if she is a flute holder or not, but the lineup for the cast seems to be Stacy, Giselle, Jazzy, Angel, Tia, Wendy, Kiarna, and Ashley. And I wonder what that's going to be about. You know, I have been hearing that the girls have been ganging up on Stacy, but I wonder if Stacy did something. You know, you never know. You know, like she said, still she rise. But that's all I got for you guys today. As always, remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely drop down in the comments below and please share your thoughts with me on all the things that I've shared in this video. Remember to like the video and subscribe. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.